morning. Thank you for watching Live with OCC. Happy Women History Month.
Yes.
So before I forget, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
And thank you for coming and updating everybody on the Medicare.
Yes.
2025.
Yes.
So we have one of our guests and my sister, LaMonica Thomas, with Medicare. She's going to update us on the new the rules and the benefits and all of that stuff. Welcome again.
Thank you.
And happy 2025.
Yes, we've made it to 2025.
Yes.
Hard to believe.
Yes.
But time waits for no one.
No one.
That's for
So
sure.
what's going on with
Medicare now? What's going on with that? There's always so many things going on, but we're just going to focus, on a few things. I think what's important right now is we're in an enrollment period called OEP, and that stands for Open Enrollment Period. And so what that means is if you signed up for a Medicare Advantage plan last year, or if you're on a Medicare Advantage plan last year, and maybe for some reason you may have missed the annual election period, which was from October 15th through December 7th, or maybe you signed up during that time, and now you're on your plan, you've been on your new plan since January and February, and it's just not working out. It's just not what you thought it would be. There is this enrollment period called OEP, and it's an opportunity for people to actually change their plans to get a better plan. It's not an enrollment period that's advertised. It's more designed to help you get a plan that will work with your needs.
So people wouldn't even know they can change.
Right. A lot of people don't know that they can change, but if you have an agent and you are on a plan and you're just saying, when I signed up for this plan, they said it had this, they said it was going to do this, they told me my doctors were in network, but hey, not all of my doctors are in network and I can't use this plan. That's an opportunity when you can use that enrollment period, OEP, to change your plan. So that goes from January, February through the end of this month, through March. And that's, it's a 3-month window. It happens every year. Fairly new. It's been going on maybe for about 3 years, with Medicare. So it is an opportunity for people to change their plan if they need to. Something else that's going on sometimes, especially when people are new to Medicare and they just started Medicare, and as we all know, every year the Part B premium, where most of us are given Part A, because Medicare has A and B.
Right.
So most of us are given Part A, but we all pay a Part B premium that kind of fluctuates every year. So this year it's $185. That's what you pay for your Part B premium each month. Now most of us, it'll just automatically come out of our Social Security check. But some of us haven't started Social Security. Some of us are still working. So maybe they're like, well, I'm going to wait until my Social Security fully matured. Some people will wait until they're 67 or 70 to start Social Security. So they'll have that Part B premium taken out of their maybe bank account. They'll do an automatic draft, or sometimes Medicare will send a quarterly statement, meaning that's 3 months of the Part B premium that you have to pay. But you just want to be sure, whatever it is, especially if you're not drawing Social Security, be sure you have that set up. There are several ways you can pay that Part B premium if it's not coming out of Social Security.
So, if you're 65 and you're still working, you still have to pay into your Medicare?
Well, let's put it this way. If you're 65 and you have employer health insurance, you don't have to start Medicare.
Okay.
So that's a myth. A lot of people think, once I start 65, I've got to start my Medicare. That's not true.
Okay.
You can wait. Maybe you want to wait until you leave that job. As long as you have credible employer coverage, you do not have to start Medicare.
But if you're not working.
Right. if you're not
And you are
working.
65.
Right.
You can't get away with not having.
Right, because there's like an 8 month window
Okay.
where you've got to, if you're not working, you don't have a job, you've got 3 months before you turn 65, the month you turn 65, and 3 months after. That's your window to enroll in Medicare at 65 if you don't have other benefits, other health insurance. If you go beyond that, then you leave yourself possibly being penalized for not starting Social Security, not starting Medicare when you were supposed to. Because if you wait like the next year, you can get penalized 10% of that Part B premium. Yeah, so that's never fun. So if you were to do the math, it's $185, so then you're going to charge you another $18.50. So it's $185 plus $18.50. So then your Part B premium, is now $203 or something like that.
Okay. So how about they have a C and a D now?
Mm-hmm.
So what about?
Well, C is always, it's just another name for a Medicare Advantage plan.
Okay.
So whenever they say Part C, and that's really what confuses people. I can't tell you how many clients call me, put me on a Part C plan right now. And I say, you're already on a Part C. That's a Medicare Advantage plan.
Okay.
And it includes the prescription drug coverage. So that's, in the perfect acronym, everyone should have A, B, C, D.
Okay.
So A is hospital, B is, doctor visits from your original Medicare, C is your Medicare Advantage plan, and D is your prescription drug coverage.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So again, back to what I was saying, you just want to be sure that you've done everything you need to do. If you're not drawing Social Security and you start Medicare, that you pay, whether it's at Medicare.gov, whether you do a bank draft, whether they send you an invoice via mail. Because I've had several clients that have lost their Part B coverage because they didn't pay or didn't know how to pay or didn't know they had to pay, and even though you educate people, you tell them, and they just don't, know until it happens. And then they have to pay, back up, for the months they've missed in order to get reinstated, and you just don't want that.
So basically, once you turn 64, 65, you should definitely get the reviews.
Yeah, you should do a Medicare review, because that's an opportunity, because sometimes, sometimes even though you have employer benefits, you might find out that going on Medicare may be less expensive than your employer benefits. Sometimes employer benefits may have a large deductible, where a lot of Medicare plans don't have a deductible. So medical deductible, because that opens the door to another big change this year, and that's with prescription drug coverage. That's been a huge change, and I think that was the last thing we talked about the last time we were together. And now that we're in 2025, the big changes with something called the Inflation Reduction Act, and that's a program where a lot of the companies that offer Medicare Advantage plans, Humana, United, Cigna, Aetna, all of these plans, Blue Cross Blue Shield, they've had to make changes on their plans. And a lot of people, I'm sure, if you didn't notice it last year, you notice it this year. A lot of plans have higher co-pays. A lot of plans have kind of reduced their benefits. And the main reason for that is that now the private companies are going to be more or held more responsible for paying for the prescription drug costs of their members. And because of that, they've eliminated the donut hole, which is what we talked about.
We talked about that.
They eliminated that. And again, the cap last year was $5,080, meaning you had to, if you were on a lot of Tier 3 medications, which a lot of people who don't know, Tier 3 are brand name medicines. Normally you would pay maybe $47, for that. And if you take several Tier 3 medicines throughout the year, you have a cap. That's what the company has determined. Once you've hit $5,080, that was last year, then you're gonna end up paying 25% more. So you walk up to the pharmacy, happy to get your $47 medication, and it's no longer 47. It's, you know, 150 or 25% more. But for this year, they eliminated that. The cap was dropped to $2,000, and there's no donut hole. So it actually will suit members better, because it's going to be lower, but you got to first hit that cap of $2,000. And plans that normally would not have a Part D deductible have them this year, because we were all kind of spoiled where if you were on an HMO plans are always a little less when it comes to cost, and none of them would have a Part D deductible for medications. But this year they do. So a lot of people got sticker shock, you know, when they walk in there, and again, if they were on a brand name medicine, they pay $47, you know, and on an HMO it's just $47. But this year, that same HMO, it's $47 plus maybe $340 on top of that. So it's a $387 amount that they would have to pay for their first prescription in January. And so that was, again, culture shock for a lot of people. But what some people may or may not know, and this is something all you have to do, it's a quick fix. And again, some people may not have had to get their prescriptions filled yet. But those who have found out that they do have a deductible. Not all plans have a deductible for Tier 3, but most of them do. And so you can call the company, you know, depending on the company you're with, whether it's United, Humana, or whoever, and they will do something called a patient prescription payment plan. And they will set it up where you can pay in increments, where you don't have to pay the full amount.
Can they help you a little?
Yeah, it'll help you a little. So it's just kind of moving things around, robbing Peter to pay Paul, or do whatever you have to do.
So how can people, if they had any questions, how could they find you?
You can call me. I try to pick up my phone 99.9% of the time. It's 972-249-8907. And just give me a call, and I'll be happy to help in any way that I can.
Well, we thank you for keeping us updated, because if you're 65, you do understand it. If you're not 65, you're going to need to understand it. You need to start paying attention now to what's getting ready to happen. And what I can understand, when you're not 65, you don't have to pay. When you get 65 on a fixed income,
that's ironic, isn't it? That's kind of ironic. And
so it's like
also a call of action to adult children to help their parents understand this, where they have to kind of step in and just kind of learn themselves to help explain to their. I'm so proud of the adult children I've met on this journey, the ones who really love and care for their parents and want to learn, you know, and get an understanding, because it is a lot. It's a lot.
Well, we thank you for coming.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Do we need to do 3 months or 6 months to update?
I think we're going to find out. We have to kind of wait and see. We have a new administration, and we don't know what's going to happen, but we will find out as they move forward doing their thing. So stay tuned.
We'll be back with an update when needed.
Yes.
So again, thank you guys for watching Live with OCC, and happy Women History Month. And don't forget, the time changes this weekend.
That's right.
Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.